Hey guys, today we're going to be playing with filters. So first thing, I've got a picture of a llama here, and I just open it up, in Photoshop, copied and pasted in here. And the first thing I want to talk about first is smart filters. So what I'm going to do is make a copy of this so we can see two of them side by side. There's a copy. And up here underneath filter, I'm going to do convert for smart filters. And now you can see right here, one is a regular picture and this indicates that is a smart filter. And let me show you the one big difference between a smart filter and a regular filter. If I select both of these and I Control T and make them really small, and then I hit yes, and then I do again Control T and make them large again, they both kind of look bad right now, but when I hit enter, this one now is blurry and this one is the same. So a smart filter will maintain all the pixel data from that image. So that's really nice to have, especially if you're going to be resizing stuff a lot. You won't get blurry stuff. The one downside to it is if I were to take a paintbrush and I needed to paint on the layer, you can see I've got a gray paintbrush. Maybe let's get red. I can paint right there on it. But if I'm on a smart filter, it will not let me. It says smart object must be rasterized, and we talked about that before. So this may prevent you from actually making mistakes because I really don't ever want to paint directly on there. I may want to do a clone stamp or a heel brush, and that's true, and then I would need to rasterize it, and I hit OK, and that takes away that little smart filter thing there. So keep that in mind. And now I can color on it, or I can do whatever I need to, but it's not editable when it's a smart filter. It just stays by itself. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. I'm going to undo all this real fast and delete this one, and I'm going to make my original one a smart filter. So convert for smart filters before you start on the rest of the stuff, because I'm going to show you what else cool it can do. Now then, I'm going to do a series of 9 images, so I need to copy this quite a few times. Again, I can drag this down here, and that copies it. I could hold down Alt and drag it in the layer, and that copied it. I could hold down multiple pieces, just the way we selected the candy cane, and select multiple pieces and copy all those together. That's another option. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways we can copy this to get 9 images, and I just put all 9 on one sheet just to make it easy for me. And they're kind of in order still, so 1, 2, 3, kind of. But anyway, I'm going to go back and do auto select layers, so I can just click on one and I know exactly which one it is. You can see over here in the layers palette how it's just kind of bouncing around. And I'm going to start adding filters now. If I come in, there's a whole bunch of filters. There's some basic ones down here, and there's more in the filter gallery. We'll start off with some basic ones. But I'm going to, Gaussian blur. And I really just want you guys to experiment with these and see what options there are. So there, I made a blur. Now, here's the other thing that's nice about a smart filter. You look down here, it has this extra stuff. Whereas if you just do a filter on a regular layer, it will just turn it blurry, and then that's it. But with a smart filter, you can re-edit. So I can click right here, reopens my smart object, and I can re-blur it or unblur it or change the amount of blur. And what's also nice is on this smart filter mask, I can get a paintbrush just like I did with any other mask. Make my brush a little bigger. Oh, come on. Keystrokes are being a little goofy. And I can color, and you can see that that is unblurring that filter because of this filter mask. So that's super cool. Let's look at some more options. But here's filter. Of course, you got, like I said, you got all these. You got there's a cool oil paint one that's pretty fun to play with. Hopefully it won't take up too much time to edit. But sometimes this little preview doesn't show up. So if you zoom out, it'll show you the actual image. There it is right there. Now then I can see my, oh yeah, you can see it right there. Or you can click preview and see it happen over here. So there's stylize, there's cleanliness, there's scale, and then when I hit OK, Oh, actually, it was on this guy right there. I had it covered up. But there's oil filter on my llama, which looks really fun. Let's click on this one right here. We see, yep, there it is. I'll do one more with you guys. Filter. There's all kinds of good stuff, and of course there's filter gallery, which I just clicked on, which will open up this window here. And you can see right now the default, or the one I had on, was plastic wrap, so you can do that. There's ink outlines. There is ripple, ocean ripple. There's down here in sketches, you can do half-tone pattern. Whoop, that got a little messed up. Here's glowing edges. That's always a fun one. And there's textures down here. So there's all kinds of different options to add your filter. So I want you to add 9 different filters. And then on these last 2, I want you to do multiple filters. So more than one filter on the same thing. So if I'm on this layer 1, I can come in here, click on that, and add a second filter. I could go and do let's do radial blur. There we go. You can see how much radial blur, and then hit OK. And so now that has radial blur and filter gallery, aka that little kind of pixelated thing I did. So I want you to do all 9 like that, and then you'll turn in this sheet. So it's just a chance for you to explore filters, play with those smart filters, and then turn it in.